Hey guys, NeoBrian here, and I'm very excited. My very first cooking video, and I'm going to do one of my favorite recipes. This is called Quick Chocolate Fudge. It's a very simple recipe. The recipe will be in the comments down below, but it basically uses chocolate pudding boxes. This is a double recipe, and it fills a 9x13, but it takes 4 boxes of cook and serve chocolate pudding. Do not get instant. That will break the recipe. You're going to need 2 sticks of butter or margarine. I prefer butter. Salted and unsalted doesn't really make that much of a difference on this. A cup of milk, 7.5 cups of powdered sugar, which is just a 2-pound bag, and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So pudding, butter, milk, sugar, vanilla is all that's in this recipe. Super easy to make. So let's get started. 2 sticks of butter. We're going to melt these in a pan. Now I've already shelled them out of the boxes, but these are my 4 boxes of pudding. So what I'm going to do now while that butter is melting is I'm going to combine my pudding and milk. Not necessary to do that. I'm doing it because the whisking will take out a lot of the lumps in the milk before I add it. There's 1 cup of milk and 4 boxes of cook and serve chocolate pudding. Obviously, if you don't want chocolate pudding, you can use other recipes as well. I don't know why you wouldn't want chocolate, but I'm sure this would make lovely banana fudge or butterscotch fudge. My wife says, if you hear any noise, she's baking over here on the side. She's threatening to throw Rolos at me. And 4. Okay, once your butter's melted, you take your pudding and your milk, and you add that. And you want to stir this in and keep stirring until you get it to a boil. My wife says for the sake of your wife, if you smoke, take your smoke break before you start stirring. And you want to bring this to a boil. You want it to boil for 1 minute. Now here's the tricky thing, is it's going to turn into a thick, globby mass. And so boiling is kind of relative. When it becomes a thick, bubbly, boiling mass and it starts wadding up, then I usually give it a minute. For the most part, if you keep stirring and your heat's not too high, and you want a medium to a medium-low heat, probably medium-low, medium maybe a little too high. As long as you continuously stir, you don't have to worry about it burning. So I'm not to boiling yet, but I am seeing a bit of kind of a globular mass underneath some liquidy chocolate milk butter mixture. So just continue stirring. I have not reached the boiling point yet. Just checking my Pokemon Go. Ooh, a Pidgey. See if I can catch him with my left hand. P435 over there. He's a great ball. Caught him. Oh, he escaped. Oh, and he ran away. Stupid Pidgey. Alright, so I wanted to go ahead and get the camera because I want you to see what this globular mass looks like. Because the first time you cook it, you're probably going to think you made a big mistake. So this is what it should look like at boiling. Looks kind of nasty. Just keep stirring it and give a count to 60 seconds. Set your timer. The temperature you get it to has a lot to do with whether this fudge is going to harden or not. You can see pretty much we're down to the fudgy mixture surrounded by some butter. When you add in the powdered sugar, that will all mix in. It's usually at this point near the end of the boiling that I go ahead and add my vanilla extract. And I do like to use pure vanilla extract, not the imitation. Pure vanilla extract or imitation extract, it doesn't really matter which you use. They're both pretty good, but I think the pure vanilla extract, in my opinion, tastes a lot better. Alright, so that's been about a minute. Turn the heat off. And you'll notice at this point, of the 5 ingredients in this recipe, chocolate fudge, margarine, milk, vanilla, and powdered sugar. The only thing left to do now is add the powdered sugar. Now you can add the powdered sugar and stir it manually if you like. You will have little clumps of powdered sugar. You can try sifting it beforehand. I've done that as well. It doesn't seem to help a whole lot. KitchenAid mixer works really wonderfully. I'm sure other mixers work as well. So I put the hot mixture into, and I got a little butter going in there as well. Don't let that splat back up on you. It is hot. With the sugar, with blending powdered sugar, you have to be careful because it can make a mess. I am going to use this guard that comes with the KitchenAid. As I said, it takes an entire 2 pounds to do this double batch recipe that I'm showing you. So 7.5 cups is roughly 2 pounds. A little trick on powdered sugar, if you just nick the corner a little bit to get some air in there, you can then kind of get the rest of it to sift down so that you can then cut the top off without making a giant mess. So if you add too much powdered sugar, it's going to puff out in your mixer. So you only want to add a little bit at a time. So I'm going to hook this on. Make sure it's secure. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this at a time. at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and start it mixing. Just going to do it on low. Let's see if we can do this without making a mess. Powdered sugar is notorious when you're pouring from the bag to go slow, slow, slow. Avalanche! It's almost impossible to work with anything powdered and not make a mess. If you figured out that secret, post in the comments below. It's basically turning into like a doughy lump in the middle. Speeding it up a little bit to break it apart so it pulls in the rest of the sugar from the bottom. Alright, there we go. We got a nice fudge-like texture. I'll bring over and show you. See, there we are. Doesn't that look delicious? Nice hot fudge. But it's not meant to be hot fudge. You gotta let it cool. I'm gonna use a 9x13. Make sure you grease it, whether you use a paper towel and Crisco or you have a spray. This is an olive oil spray, which, in my opinion, what oil spray or oil you use doesn't really seem to have a big impact. You are welcome to your own opinion on that. Try not to put it on too thick, but make sure you've got a good covering. All right, let's scrape this off the beater. Oh, it looks delicious. All right, so let's scrape the sides. There is a little bit of sugar still in here unmixed, which is okay. Don't freak out about it. Put this down and spread it out in this 9x13 pan. Kind of a globular, Play-Doh-y chunk of chocolate ooze. Delicious. Now, the easiest way to do this, because this is very doughy, make sure your hands are washed before you put them all over, especially if you're going to share this food with others. But the easiest thing to do, you could use a spoon or something if you want, but because it is a lot like dough, and I like the feel of it, I just spread it out with my hands. Try to get a good covering. Don't worry too much about fingerprints. You're going to cut these into bite-sized anyway. And there you are, quick chocolate fudge. This is a double batch of chocolate fudge. It's got to cool before you can cut it. This is probably one of the favorites that me and my wife cook every year. It's really just a bunch of chocolate flavored sugar that is gelled together in cube form for you to eat. You, if you make it. The people I know get to eat it. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was insightful. And I hope you enjoyed this fudge recipe very much. It's a little bit different from a lot of other fudge recipes. But very simple, easy, quick to make. Takes a little bit of cooling time, but not difficult dessert to make if you want to make a quick dessert for after dinner. Thank you guys for checking out this video. You were incredible. There is a plan for your life. Until next time, bye-bye.